thought we would talk about the myths of Africa. I've lived there in total over 15 years. And so we get a lot of interesting things that people ask me. Just like in Africa, everybody thinks that in Texas, everybody's a cowboy and has, a Stetson
covered wagon and
all that kind of stuff. And so a lot of people here, though, think that everybody there lives like Tarzan, which actually isn't true.
Really?
It isn't true.
So everybody doesn't go around naked? And No?
So, yeah. The other thing that's not true is we don't have wild animals everywhere.
No, I know I'm going to get eaten by a lion.
So
No?
we did have a monkey. That's like the wildest thing that we had where we live, was a monkey on our back porch. But most of the wild animals are in game parks. So you actually, of course, everybody knows you can go on safari and see all the lions and stuff like that. But you have to actually go to a game park.
Oh, but there's snakes. I know there's snakes.
We've even had snakes in our house. Yes.
Okay,
well, I guess those are wild animals. In our house, we've had snakes, and we've had bats, and we've had scorpions, and we've had...
That's wild.
Things like that, yeah. And people say, well, just close up your house, but there's no central air, and so you would like suffocate if you closed everything up. Plus, it's not sealed. I mean, it's just like impossible. So we leave everything, open for the breeze and things like that. So
yeah, she showed up here. It's 159 degrees in Texas, and she shows up with a sweater on because the air conditioning is so cold.
I have to take my sweater everywhere in the summer because all these crazy air-conditioned housing.
So you don't live in huts?
A lot of people do,
Yeah.
but not everybody does.
When you say a lot of people do, what do you mean a lot of people?
I mean, a lot of people do.
Like,
I don't know.
in the villages? Or?
In the villages, they would actually live in in like reed houses.
Uh-huh.
Okay. People also make cement block buildings, houses.
Uh-huh.
In some places, like in a squatter camp, where people just take whatever materials that they can find. I mean, and then in other places, it really depends on what kind of materials you have at hand. And so where we are, they use the reeds because in the coconut palms that they can weave into different things. When we were in East Africa, they use mud and manure because it's just everywhere. So it really depends on where you are.
Yeah, I know that the hut in here has a mud and manure wall.
Yeah.
Right.
But then you have the other extreme in big cities. You've got malls. You've got.
Oh, wait a minute. You have big cities?
We have big cities.
No.
We have freeways and traffic jams.
Oh my word! You're kidding.
And they just built this big mall that we've gone to in Johannesburg, and it has Cinnabon, and it has Krispy Kreme, and it has Pizza Hut, and it has, and it's actually like one of the nicest malls I've ever been in.
So, if you have big cities, then you must have medical care.
When we have medical issues, which last year I was in the hospital for a week, they actually never found out what was wrong with me. It was probably malaria. We drove about 10 hours to South Africa, and that's where I got medical treatment. And I was actually very impressed. Actually, and also my youngest son was in ICU for 3 days when he was young. And I was very impressed with the facilities there. I mean, not every hospital, because actually the hospital where we live doesn't have, it can't do the things that we needed. It doesn't have all the supplies and stuff like that. So it depends on where you are.
It is possible for them to do a heart transplant.
In fact, the first heart transplant was done in South Africa.
So
Did you know that?
That's what makes this story plausible,
Yeah.
is that there is the potential for fabulous medical care in a third world country, but we had to question whether or not you were going to get exactly what you were paying for.
Yeah. So that's why somebody would, they would potentially travel to a whole nother continent
and risk that, yes.
Yeah. So if you have any questions about myths, leave a comment.
Leave a comment.